Every single person that's here on this earth is looking to transform their life. They're looking to do better for themselves. A lot of times it's just for ego. They want to fulfill themselves with external means. They want the money. They want an incredible physique and health. They want to have a relationship that makes others feel good about themselves. They want the approval from other people. Look at the woman I can get. Look at the man I attracted. But when it comes to making these improvements, you have to realize when you only search the ego, it leaves you empty. You get the thing you want, then you're still empty, looking for the thing that's going to make you happy. But let's just focus on how do we make these changes? Because when you want to make these changes, it takes a view from going 30,000 feet above, a bird's eye view. And it's not the myopic view most people in society have. So the myopic view is, I have a health issue. What hormone do I need to take? What herb do I need to take? What drug is going to solve my problem? When it comes to attracting a partner and a relationship, it's help me meet somebody, but you don't work on the personal development skills that you need. You don't work on reading, knowledge. You don't become fit and work on yourself. You don't work on your financial means. You have to have something to offer. You have to become the person that's supposed to walk through that door. You have to create a life somebody would want to walk into. When it comes to money, most people just tell me or just say, what stock do I need to buy? I'm just going to buy real estate. And they don't go into the intricacies like if you bought one stock and you made money and you got lucky, it's not going to continue. It stops. The success stops. Or if you buy one house, now you got more work on your plate. So you can't have your job and manage that property properly. And you're going to have to get several properties. And then you're going to have to hire a management company so you can actually have the free time. Otherwise, you didn't create any free time for yourself. You create a headache. So it's not so simple. And it's not this myopic view where your reticular activation system has gotten to a place where it's shut down and it's only seeing what's in front of them and thinking that you're going to get the desired outcome and it's going to solve all your problems. You're finally going to be fulfilled. There's never going to be any headaches anymore because there's only one constant in the universe. And that constant is change. No matter what, the constant in the universe is change. Energy is motion, emotion is change, and change is the essence of life. So when it comes to health, me being a natural healthcare doctor, there's a lot of factors involved. It's not just, I have hormonal dysregulation. What hormone do I need to take or what herb is going to fix my hormones? It's not sustainable. If you have gut dysbiosis, it's not just take a probiotic. That's not sustainable. And it won't even fix your problem. Oftentimes, it actually increases histamine. And if you increase histamine, you signal zonulin, which regulates the interstitial space between the cells in the gut, and you cause yourself leaky gut and autoimmune diseases just because you took a probiotic. I get it. Everybody's trying to sell you something because they're myopic. The world is a fucking myopic, simple, monkey-brained, solution-oriented sales process. And I think some of them really have good intentions, but their reticular activation system has been down that road. They become a chronic derper, and they're pushing the same old bullshit on you. You have to find people that truthfully have gone through the dark night of the soul, had to overcome the challenges in their life. I had MS. I had scoliosis. I had chronic Lyme. I've got none of it. I'm out here walking around in Hollywood Hills in California, getting my sun. Rained this morning, but I'm out here. I'm getting exercise. I'm getting human movement. I'm getting light in my eyes. That's just a small touch of the surface. That's barely touching the surface. So when it comes to your health, the reality is that it is the 7 factors of water, food, rest, exercise, mind, environment, posture. And when it comes to water, you got to realize you need clean water. Thank God for the municipal water system, but it's got fluoride in it, right? We're not getting cholera. We're not getting dysentery that kills us anymore, right? But there's chlorine in there that mimics your thyroid hormone, right? There's heavy metals, there's medications, there's plastic. So you have to filter the water. Food, it's a mess out there. Our system of agriculture has gotten away from nature. It's about mass producing crops. 85% of our soil microbiome is completely destroyed. Only 4% of our food is actually organic. And that's even questionable because the runoff of all the pesticides and herbicides have ran down into that food supply. So how good really is it? And then the organic biodynamic farmers, can you really trust some of them? They don't know because they're myopic. So it's almost like you have to do a lot of this stuff on your own and do your own homework and research and not just blindly trust someone. I mean, what happens when you trust a mechanic? Sometimes they fix your car. Sometimes they fuck it up, especially you know this if you're in the custom car world. You know how bad that could be. It builds you an engine, that fucking thing blows up within a few weeks because they didn't tighten the bolt down to the correct torque specs and it was leaking exhaust. So you can't just trust everything. You really got to know what you're doing and start to really know yourself and the path to take and start listening to God and know if something's good for you or bad for you and taking information and really deciphering it. not just doing keto and carnivore because that's what the masses are doing because you did a Google search and it seems like that's probably it. You got to learn how the system works. You got to go to bed on time. Rest is important, right? You got to recover. And all these things are on a sliding scale. Sometimes you're going to have to take care of your family or someone who's sick, or you're going to have to focus on your business more and lose a little bit of sleep and then make up for it in another way. So there's a sliding scale. It's one of these things where it's not like the universe isn't constant. It's ever changing. You just have to move with the flow and be like water. You have to get up, you have to move every day, you have to exercise. But the number one and most important factor is your mind. And this is where really the myopic view comes into place because everybody says just be positive. I think everybody's probably heard now that authenticity is the highest vibrational frequency you can be in. You know what that is? It's self-love. And in self-love, don't do things to others that you wouldn't do unto yourself. But it's so much deeper than that because you don't understand your subconscious mind, which is 98% of your thought, is actually running the show. It's the amygdala that's running the show. And that amygdala has programs that are remembered in your hippocampus. And the hippocampus is your memory. So your memory isn't just yours. It's epigenetic. It's in the lineage. So if you had Holocaust survivors in your lineage, you have that trauma stored in there. There's fear of other people stepping on you, wanting to kill you. You don't want to come out of your comfort zone. You can't speak up. One of the skill set is public speaking that I'm personally working on. And the reality is there's a myopic view in public speaking that you just have to get comfortable. You have to picture people in the audience naked so you're not nervous. But there's so many more factors. It's like your mind. There's so many factors. There's another layer. There's another layer. There's another layer. So the layers are just infinite. It goes down rabbit hole and then you don't realize it until later. But where I'm getting at with that is you have to work on vocal projection. You have to work on cadence. You have to work on your tone. You have to work on expression. You have to work on eye contact. It's endless. And just when you're good, you can get better. It doesn't stop. And it's no different with your subconscious mind. These are the pain, fears, and challenges on an unconscious level that are running that when you have painful experiences in your life are actually gifts and strange wrapping paper. They're there to awaken you. But instead of getting depressed and sad, you have to shift that. And oftentimes you think that you're on this healing journey and you've healed, and then you're not done. It's like something else comes up. It never ends. It's like another problem, another problem. The reality is you're creating it. Remember, light from the sun in Genesis 1, let there be light, comes through the Earth's magnetosphere. The photons move through that and the energy is changed. The photons of light are changed and the electrons are changed, and the protonic energy of the sun causes electrons to move in a certain fashion. And that gradient of magnetic field that's around our Earth changes that. And your mind is just like the Earth. It has a magnetic field from your thought. And the light that it comes through you, through our mitochondria, is emitted outside your body. And those thoughts change the amplitude and wavelength as they leave. E equals MC squared. So you can't have a myopic view and think you can just have a positive attitude. There's unconscious beliefs that are creating the reality in front of you. And oftentimes you can't find them. So you got to get a guy like me to help you uncover what's actually happening so you can change that frequency and create a new reality in front of you, because it's light that contains the information through the magnetic field of your body that's actually forming the mass and matter outside of you. So you have to work on the mind, which is the number one thing. Because if you shift the mind, you automatically care about yourself. You live in authenticity, which is self-love, and you just do the things that are right for you. And then because you do the right things that are for you, attract other people to do the right things for them. And you have better quality relationships based on authenticity because they love themselves and they wouldn't do anything to anybody else outside of you, outside of them. So there's authentic, true love. It's not this dynamic of relationship where I do this for you, you do this for me, and the relationship works. It's not this contractual relationship. It's you actually connect with each other and you realize you're both on a soul journey and you're helping each other ascend. It's a partnership. You need friends in your life and you need loved ones in your life that are on that same journey. But realize it's not just about achieving status. It's not just about making a ton of money so you can buy the next trinket and doodad. It's not just about having the fast car and the approval seeking that you never really fucking needed. It's your mind. That's the core of it all. Then you got the light. You don't go out in the sun. You want to wear sunscreen. The dermatologist will have you believing that you're going to get skin cancer. But the reality is if you lack sunlight, your body's going to go down an evolutionary process and start to use hydrogen for fuel because sulfation is impaired. You don't get the UV light that you need. And when you don't get UV light that you need, your hydrogen sulfide doesn't sodium sulfate, and holy shit, now you have high cortisol, dysregulated hormones, high estrogen, low T3, high histamine, right? All those factors come around. You have leaky gut. The way to fix the gut is through light. It's your thought, because they affect the microbiome. It's also the sun. Light regulates biology. So you have to get the sun so you can emit the light and change the frequency outside of you. See, it's not myopic. It's an entire plan, and you need to learn the entire plan and how it all works in synergy. You can't just do the one thing. I don't know how many people all the time I bombarded with phone calls and messages on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. What about this? What do I do? Give me the one thing. It's retarded. Quit being retarded. You got to realize you got to make a lot of changes. It's understanding the entire system of life. And what you don't know can actually kill you. So it's important for you to learn these factors that I keep preaching on. You got to start moving every day. You got to get your heart rate up. You got to get your cardiovascular system working. That improves aerobic respiration, how oxygen converts to carbon dioxide, which helps you make exclusion zone water and hydrate your cells, pump your blood and move your blood. Because no, your heart doesn't pump blood. It's a magnetic field generator through your emotions, mind-heart coherence. What moves the blood through your body is an electromagnetic charge that comes from the exclusion zone water from taking oxygen converted to carbon dioxide. It's energy that moves it. So, and then you got to worry about your posture. And you can work on your mind all you want, but if you're not working on your posture and pulling apart the adhesions on the spinal cord, you're not going to get better. The electrons can't flow. It's like the TV's not plugged in. You have these calluses that develop in the 3 layers of the spinal cord, on the meninges, dura mater, pure mater. They adhere together. And when they adhere together, you get stuck crooked. And then that restricts the flow of life. And you resist the flow of life, you die. So your posture is important. You can't just do the traditional care that's out there. There's a million different types of chiropractic techniques and exercise techniques that promise you. Braces that promise you it's going to fix your posture, it's going to train your body. Doesn't work that way. There's adhesions in the cord. You have to have some sort of external force applied to that to pull those apart, to create the slack so you can put the bones back that are out of place. The muscles couldn't self-correct. It's the only way you're going to increase that electron flow. So you can fix the kundalini. It's your lymphatic system. So you have this system in your body pumped by your pineal or pituitary gland. Your pituitary gland pump the cerebral spinal fluid, and it washes over the pineal gland. And you have that piezoelectric energy that comes from that pineal gland right up here. And it's emitting light outside of it. So do you see how it's not so simple, and how you can't just message me and say, what herb do I take? What one thing can I change? Because it's not one thing. If you do one thing, it's not going to work. It's going to be like the guy who told you to buy the stock that maybe worked or maybe didn't. And sometimes maybe it did, but then you can't reproduce it. You got to understand the whole technicals of the market to have success in trading. That's why 90% of traders lose money. God knows I was one of them, but I have a deeper mission. My mission is to save people's souls, to transform the frequency in their subconscious mind. That's my mission. That's what I'm supposed to do. And that's why things wouldn't work out for me. Not because I'm not intelligent. It's because no matter what I did, energetically, I wasn't aligned with that scenario. I didn't have the skill set, nor did I have the people that were coming to my path to teach me this skill set. I always had somebody, for some reason, that I always attracted that was walking me down the path of how to get well. Sure, I attracted a lot of people who were misinformed, had lack of understanding, very myopic in their views. But then as you get more intelligent, you start to realize if the masses are doing it, it's probably not the solution, and it's probably not going to work. What did they have to overcome? And I wouldn't just pay attention to, oh, do I feel better? Because let me tell you, you can go see a traditional chiropractic where they push P to A and you can feel better. It took the pressure off a nerve, but it didn't really fix you. It actually collapsed the spine and shifted your body in a different direction that just didn't have the tension on the nerve in that spot, but it didn't really fix their body. See, if your body's really fixed, it just pops up. Even use your muscles to hold your body up. You just exist. I went up to the Arctic Circle to go moose hunting this year. I drove 30 hours, slept on a cot, slept in bad hotel beds. I didn't have any meninge releases to do because I've been getting this done for 20 years, but it took time to get there to where I don't have issues anymore. I've always been better than 98% of people, but until I fixed my spine, my stomach always protruded. I had poor digestion, couldn't get it straightened out because the electrons weren't moving. I wasn't producing hydrochloric acid. To make hydrochloric acid, you can't have pressure on the pyloric valve from being collapsed. So digestion is poor, elimination is poor. So you can't get rid of the endotoxins. You get more dysbiosis in the gut. That gram-negative bacteria breaks down and it can't get eliminated. So then you start leaking all those protein particles out in the bloodstream, and then we call it an autoimmune disease. See how it's all linked? And it's just not one thing. And the only reason I was able to overcome all the obstacles is because I wasn't myopic. And I do all the damn things. And I focus on all the damn things. As I learn about public speaking and there's other people in the classes, I see all the bullshit that they eat. And I see how they're focused on one thing and they're only working on the one thing. And it's okay to just work on one at a time. But eventually you get to the destination. It's a little bit. So you don't want to surround yourself with all these people that just want to get the success that aren't on the path. You don't want to compare yourself to other people and where they're at. No, that's not the answer. You want to stay on your path, ignoring the outside world. That's why Jesus walked on water. Did he really walk on water? Maybe. But he was divine. He didn't pay attention to the outside noise. He was godly. He was godlike. And so are you. But you're not godlike when you can't go introspective and you become myopic, looking for something outside of you to save you. Taking a supplement is superfluous. It's useless. It might get you slightly better, 15, 20% there, might get you a little bit regulated, but you're going to have more problems later because you didn't do all the damn things. You have to do it all and not be so black and white. You have to be able to shift. You have to be able to transform your energy, moving, bobbing, weaving, grateful for what happens, realizing there was a charge in you that created the situation that manifested it. So be critical in your thought and be mindful with your thought. And also when you know you're on the right path and others reject it, just know they're not in the right frequency. When you know and they reject you, just know it's not their time. They have their own guidance system. You're not myopic anymore. You know exactly what to do and you're going to take action. I have a free event February 21st through 23rd teaching you all those things. You're not myopic and you can begin the journey of achieving all the money, love, and health you desire, but not need of validation, not for a need to fulfill your ego, but you just are. You are the bee that was always meant to have those things and you're fulfilled no matter what, even if they disappear.